help me welcome Mr. Reno Omokri into the studio with us. Mr. Reno, can you see me
Hello,
now?
Regina. How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Excellent. I
Great,
can hear you loud and clear.
great. We're pleased to have you. All right,
Thank
Reno.
you.
Okay, everybody has been waiting for this interview to listen to you debunk the claims that were made by Kawori, okay? I'm not going to pretend that you are here to do me the honors because I'm really honored to have a personality like you in the office of the citizen. So let's just cut to chase, okay? Tell us about
Okay.
yourself. Tell us about yourself, you know. Let us establish the connection between you and President Goodluck Jonathan because it's quite a big deal for him to come out and make that debunkment on your behalf, saying that he did not fire you for criminal activities. So please go ahead and talk about that. What is your connection to Goodluck Jonathan right now, and why he had to do that on your behalf?
Well, he's my very good friend. We're very close.
Yeah.
Last year, he spent 10 days with me and my family in California. And
Mm-hmm.
I served in his government meritoriously, as you saw in the letter that he wrote. And I was very loyal. And by nature, I'm a loyal person. You know, I mean, people who've worked with me, who've known me from time, it's just my nature. That's how my parents brought me up.
Mm-hmm.
And he respects that. Because if you read scripture, you see, God did not promote Christ and give him a name above all names, as you see in Philippians chapter 2, because Christ was intelligent. No, he did that because Christ was loyal.
Mm-hmm.
And President Jonathan saw loyalty in me, and that's why he did that.
Okay, so Tawari said that you were fired for criminal activity, but he did not say that on this program. He said that in another program. What kind of criminal activity was he insinuating? Hello. Okay, so I'm going to send another guest link to Omokri. All right, because this keeps kicking him out. Hello, Reno. Okay, so while we're waiting to get Reno back, while we're getting hoping to get Reno back, please send in your questions for Reno because as soon as he comes back on, we'll start firing on with the questions. Okay, Reno, please log back in. I want to know. Hello, are you back? Yes, I don't know. You tell me. Okay. No, stream is not over. Welcome back.
Okay.
So we were talking about the kind of criminal activity Shawari was insinuating. Please go ahead.
Oh, well, there's no criminal activities, like
Yeah.
I served meritoriously, as you saw the
Mhm,
president quote,
mhm.
first and foremost, I'll just show you because it's not just good we just talk about it. Let's also show your viewers.
Yes.
This is Sowore. He went on this program, and you see him there. I hope your viewers can see it.
Yes.
Yes, Yele Sowore accuses Reno Omokri, says he was fired by President Jonathan before he left office. Can you read it? You can see it,
Yes.
right?
Yes. I have that video. Yes.
Okay, and then now you see President Jonathan now came up and debunked that.
Yes.
He not only did he debunk that, he also released a statement to the media. And what he said was that I worked with him completely for 4 years. I wasn't fired. He doesn't know where this guy got, that from, and that the record of my service is with the federal government at the office
Yes.
of the secretary to the government of the federation. So,
Yes.
obviously, Omoyele Sowore is a liar. And he's not just a liar. He's been doing this for a very long time. He's a
Okay.
blackmailer.
We will get into that. We will get into that. But
Okay.
how long did you say you served? 4 years.
Yeah, I was appointed August 17, 2011. President Jonathan put that in his letter. And I served for 4 years until he left office, May 29, 2015. As a matter of fact, we left office together. We remained
Okay.
very close.
Somebody asked how Obi Asika came into the picture. Who
Obi
is?
Asika,
Yeah.
Obi Asika was appointed by President Jonathan on the recommendation of the then Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Ayim,
Yeah.
Pius Ayim. President
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan never met Obi Asika. He just did that because he wanted to placate the Southeast because he was
Mm-hmm.
expecting block votes from the Southeast. It was just a political move. Obi
Okay.
Asika was appointed 2 months to the election. So
Okay.
the elections were meant to hold in February. Obi
Mm-hmm.
Asika was appointed in at the end of December. So there was
Okay.
nothing. It was just an election move, and politicians do that all the time.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you, as the voice of the president back in the day, all right, media reps in Nigeria, or essentially, they go out and they disparage and demonize, right? And try to make people look bad with half truths, right? Um, I don't expect that. That is what we want to do here with Showore. We are going to come out with facts and figures and state our truth.
Regina, probably you don't know my reputation. I have
Yeah.
a reputation for facts. I'm a number
Yes.
one best-selling author. The title of my book that was the number one bestseller is Facts versus Fiction: The True Story of
Yes.
the Jonathan Years.
Yes.
I don't talk anyhow. I don't disparage. I speak with facts,
Great.
and I believe
Yes.
I've demonstrated that to you.
Yes.
Omoyele Sowore was on your show, and he said he never supported General Muhammadu Buhari nor campaigned for him. Did I
Mm-hmm.
not send you a video which I created, which showed him confessing, admitting
Yes.
with his own mouth?
Yes.
Maybe I should play the video for your followers so that
It's on my timeline, Reno. It's on my timeline. So they
it's
had
on
a
timeline. Yeah,
yeah. So
but
they
let's just
saw
play
it,
it for your viewers. Let's just play it for them. Let's play it for your viewers.
30
but
years
they saw
fighting
it
for a
on my
better life of this
timeline.
country. First as a student union leader, and of course as a leader of a media movement that brought the government that is today into power. Because we
Okay.
came to power, man.
Now you heard him. He said
Yes.
he brought General Muhammadu Buhari into power. His own words, and he said
Mm-hmm.
that General Muhammadu Buhari came to power on his own back. So how come he was on your show
Mm-hmm.
lying about that?
Okay. So, but what was the context? What was the context? It's not as if he was working with them. Was he working in the whatever group that was working towards installing President Buhari? I don't think so. I
Can
think
I respond to that? Ask your
yes.
question and allow me to respond.
Okay.
Okay, now because I deal in facts. I don't deal in conjecture. This is a video. I'm gonna pause it now. This video was taken outside APC's headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
Outside APC's headquarters. Now I'm going to play you
Where
the video.
everybody was jubilating.
Not everybody. Omoyale was jubilating. The crowd surrounded him, and
Yes.
they draped him in the APC flag. And they
Yes.
gave, and he held. There was a broom, and there were
Yes.
pictures of Muhammadu Buhari. Now, not just that, I have a sworn affidavit
Yes.
of the publicity secretary of the APC at that time in
Mm-hmm.
2014. He swore to an affidavit, which I have, that he
Yes.
went to New York and had a strategy meeting with Omoyele Sowore at the offices of Sahara Reporters. I also have, and I can show it to you here, it's on WhatsApp, another statement by, this time it was not a spokesman, it was just a top member of the APC, stating that he met with Omoyele Sowore at APC's headquarters. So what are you talking about? Are these not facts?
Okay. Okay. So let me ask you, because this makes me a little uncomfortable, right? In the government of Jonathan, there was so much going on, so much thievery and brigandry and looting and all kinds of things going on. And then the rest of us Nigerians were really livid that those monies that are being looted should be used to develop the communities, to build our societies, to provide work for the unemployed Nigerian youth. We were really livid. And the insecurity at that time was so much. People were getting bombed and murdered in the streets. There was a bloodbath everywhere. So when the time for elections came, we were all looking for anything and anyone to step into that office and restore or help Nigeria stand, right? So when Buhari came into the picture, all of us were angling. If it's going to be Buhari, so be it. But
Can I
it didn't.
respond to that?
Let me land. It did not look as if Jonathan was able to, get things under control. So even I was one
Can
of the
I
people
can
who
I
was
respond?
waiting
Can
for
Regina?
Buhari. So what I'm
Regina,
saying that so many of us were agitating for this.
Regina,
Yes. I'm gonna give you
I
a
need
minute.
to respond to that, Regina.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, Regina, you need to understand this. That is that
Mm-hmm.
um, under Jonathan,
Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Why does this keep kicking him out? No, Reno, we need you back because we got to talk about this. Okay. I'm sending him a link again. I sent him a link again. He's going to click on the link and come back in, and we'll continue this discussion. As many times as this thing kicks him out, that's the many times I'll bring him back. Okay, hopefully he will agree to stay with us. Reno? Okay. Hello, Reno. Yes, I'm so sorry. I don't know why that is happening with you. Really?
yeah, it's coming from your end. Okay, so let me continue now. Regina, I deal in facts. I don't deal in fictions. In this world, there are two bodies. There's a body, the Global Terrorism Index, which is an objective body meant to adjudicate on the issue of insecurity. It's not owned by the PDP or by the APC or by the Nigerian government. It's an independent body. And then you also have Transparency International, which is an independent body meant to adjudicate on who's corrupt. Now, according to the Global Terrorism Index, Nigeria is more insecure today than
Yes.
at any time under Jonathan. In fact, as a matter of fact, Nigeria was the fourth most terrorized nation in the world under Jonathan, according to the Global Terrorism Index. And you can Google that. Your guests, your listeners can Google that. But now, Nigeria is the third most terrorized nation in the world. Actually, now we are now more terrorized and insecure than Syria. And then also, according to Transparency International, Nigeria is now more corrupt down under General Muhammadu Buhari than at any time under Jonathan. Now, you talked about there was so much thievery under Jonathan. You see, that's the issue I'm trying to point out. All those things were propaganda. They were lies being spread by Sahara reporters. Now, I put up a picture when Omoyele Sowore denied that he worked with the APC. I showed a picture where you had Omoyele Sowore, Nasir El Rufai, who was then the deputy secretary of the APC, and then Sanusi Lamido Sanusi. Now, all of them were APC people. Now, the defense that Omoyele Sowore put up is that, well, he was just a journalist doing his job. That's not true. He was actually driven to that event by Nasir El Rufai. He went for a meeting with Nasir El Rufai, and then the two of them came there. Now, I'm going to give you 15 lies. Now, listen to this. 15 lies that Sahara reporters wrote, which made people like you believe that all these things that Jonathan was corrupt. 15 lies, and I'm going to
Wait
give
a
you.
minute, Reno. Wait a minute. You have gone very far. You talked about terrorism and insecurity. Okay, those
Yeah,
things
but
were
no,
they were present
Regina.
in the Jonathan dispensation.
Reg,
Insecurity was also present, which is why we were all angry.
Regina.
It was there,
Reg,
and then you said that there was no corruption, there was no looting of
no,
funds. Then
Regina.
where were all these funds recovered from? All the
Regina.
funds that
Regina.
were completed, where did they come from? They were recovered. And what about the
No, but
petroleum?
Regina.
Where did he get all the money from? Okay, no, Reno.
Regina, don't do that. You
Okay,
ask
let
a
me not
question,
do that. Let me
allow
be
me to
quiet.
land.
Yes,
It's
let me
not
be
for you to
quiet.
do this. You now
Yes,
affect my chain of thought.
yes, I'm sorry. Your train of thought was you were going to talk about 15
Now,
lies.
so allow me, just allow
Okay,
me. Don't worry,
okay,
allow me. Allow me.
okay, okay,
And please don't interject. Please.
okay.
I'm going to be quiet. I'll allow you ask your questions.
Yes, but
But please don't
don't go too
interject.
far. Yes.
Okay. Now, so here's the thing now. I'm going to give you Omoyele Sowore Sahara reporters accused President Jonathan of stealing 28 billion. Now they
Mm-hmm.
said that Jonathan looted 32 billion on
Mm-hmm.
that. This is on February 2, 2015, and that he is one of the richest presidents in Africa. Now that this was done 2 weeks to the election. Now he said on April 13, 2014, that Jonathan actually gave out. He had a wedding for his daughter, and during that
Mm-hmm.
wedding, he gave out gold-plated iPhones. Now, he
Where
said
was
that
that?
was published on
Yeah.
April 13, 2014. Now, he also said that Jonathan's administration looted 49 billion from the federal government. Now that was published on February 14, 2014. Then he also said that Jonathan did not care about the Chibok girls and he did nothing to rescue them. Now this was published on various dates and it was officially debunked by the British government. So now, he also said, and I'm giving you the dates, listen to this, I'm giving you
Yes.
the dates. On,
Yes.
on September 22, 2013, that Jonathan led a 600-man delegation to the United Nations, which was a lie. He also said that Jonathan was a drunkard, November 22, 2013. He also said that Jonathan shared 1.1 billion between himself and his Attorney General Adoke, which if that was published on May 27, 2012. He also said, these are Sahara reporters, that Jonathan stole 20 billion in 3 years, published on July 12, 2014. He also said that Jonathan was worth $120 million. This was
Yes.
published on October 14, 2014. He also said that Jonathan is a sponsor of the Niger Delta militants. And then finally, on May 15, 2015, he said Jonathan and the Abacha family shared the Abacha loot. Now, all these, I've given you dates. You can Google them. Your readers can also Google them. And all these things were lies. All these things were lies. Now, I was interviewed on Channels Television last week, on Sunday. And what I said on Channels Television is this, and I'm going to repeat it to you. I said,
Yes.
these figures that Magu was quoting, that he
Yes.
recovered, that they are lies. And that the monies were not deposited in the central bank. That this was just a media trial to deceive Nigerians. 10 hours after I made that statement, the DSS arrested Magu. And then the Presidential Investigation Panel, being headed by Justice Ayo Salami, repeated what I said, that the figures that Magu gave, that he had recovered, the looted funds, were not, it was just a media creation, that it was not deposited in the central bank. So you have to remember, Regina, I deal in facts. The reason why you, Regina, believe those stories and why a lot of people believe those stories is because Sahara reporters put them there and then people believe them. And then the APC will release a statement and say, oh, it came out of Sahara reporters, and people will believe them. This is their lies. Jonathan has been out of office now for 5 years. How come these monies have not been traced to him? 2 months ago, the Buhari administration wrote a letter to the US, I think the Sixth Circuit judge in New York, where you live, and they asked for a warrant seeking to search the United States for any bank accounts held by President Jonathan. I'm sure you read that, right?
Yeah.
Now, how come they have not come out to say what they found? We got the because by US law they also have to send it to the person who is accused. Not one account was linked to President Jonathan. Not one, both in the US and in the UK. So you have to
Okay.
understand. Now,
Yes.
look at the corruption in this administration.
Yes.
Who owns the Ikoyi apartment billions? They've not said it. If it was Jonathan or anybody linked to the Jonathan government, it would have taken them 2 seconds. Now, the immediate past Minister of State for Petroleum, Ibe Kachuku, there was a memo leaked where he said $25 billion worth of illegal scam contracts were given out to the NNPC. As I speak to you till today, nothing was done. It was not investigated. Aisha Buhari, her ADC was arrested. He was accused of looting billions. What has happened? He was never tried. So what are we talking about? According to Transparency International, not according to me, not according to the PDP, not according to you, according to Transparency International, this administration is more corrupt than at any time under the PDP. And let
Great.
me tell you, the only reason why Magu was arrested is because Nigeria is broke. And General Muhammadu Buhari desperately needs money. So he approached China and the US and the UK to try to get money. China agreed to give him some money, but they agreed to give him chicken change. The US and the UK said they were not going to give him money unless he addressed the corruption at the EFCC. Thank you, Regina.
All right. Thank you so much for laying all that out. I'm really happy you stated the facts and figures and dates and all that. Okay, but it seems to me like you and Shawari are doing the same thing. You are criticizing the government. You are bringing out the truth that they're trying to hide. You are pouring light on the corrupt practices that's going on. So what I don't understand is if you both are criticizing the government and trying to, air out things, what is your ground? Is it because
Now, can I answer that? Let me answer
yes,
that. You asked a
yes,
question. No, no,
yes?
no. We
What
are
is your
not doing
ground
the
with
same thing.
Shawari? Yes,
No, we are not doing the same thing. I criticize based on facts. And
yes,
I'm known for that. If you can Google it, I have a reputation. I'm
yes,
known for that. I criticize based on fact. I am an ordained pastor. I am
yes,
not looking to make money on earth. My aim
yes,
is to make it to God's kingdom. My
yes.
aim is to make it to heaven. So when I criticize based on facts. I will not come and lie and
Mm-hmm.
then twist and then bring out propaganda. If I'm saying anything, it's because I've researched it and it's the truth. Now,
Yes.
Sowore, on the other hand, lies. Sowore is a criminal. He is a petty blackmailer. And it's just because of people like Muhammadu Buhari, Nasir El-Rufai, Sanusi Lamido, Sanusi that propped him up and made Nigerians believe him. This man, I've told you, take me to court. I've shown you facts. I showed you documents. I showed you audio. I showed you video. The man lies. He came on your show. Did he not lie, Regina? Did he not lie? I'm asking you. No,
I
Regina, come
cannot
on
say
now.
no,
Fear
no.
God. Did
I
he not
cannot say
lie?
categorically that he lied because I do not have the documents to support
But
it.
I showed you the video.
You just showed me something. I have not seen it. I have not
No, no,
seen
no.
it.
You watched the video.
I
You
cannot
confirmed
sit
to
here
me.
and say, okay,
No,
now before
Regina,
you
you
can call
confirmed to
somebody a
me.
criminal and say that they are lying before they take it, do I look like I can survive one day in jail? No. So before I
No,
can answer anything, I
but
have
be
to
bold enough.
know
He
what
came
I
on
am
your
saying.
show. Hold on. He came on your show and told a
Yes.
lie. He
Mm.
said that he had not ever backed Muhammad Buhari. Did he not say so? Do you want me
He
to play
said
the video
so.
again?
Okay, but then the video. Okay, now before you can say it's a lie, you have to consider the context, like we explored. Okay, let us rest that because that is not an issue. It looks to me like Showery's delivery is very acidic. He has called Dangote all kinds of names. He has called Tinubu all kinds of names. He has called you names. He has called me names. He has called everybody names. But should we focus on that? Should we not be able to use
Can I
maturity
address that?
and look beyond that and
Can
try
I
to find
address?
the meat in the situation? Oh my goodness. Why is it always kicking this man off? Oh my God. Come back, Reno. Okay. Yes. Okay. 1 second. I have to put you up on screen. I have to put you on screen. Yes. I have to put you on screen. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so
Go
let me
ahead.
address that. Let me
Yes.
address that.
Yes.
Now, so you said Sowore has said horrible things about Dangote, right?
Yes.
About Tinubu,
Yes.
about you, and about me. Now, let me tell
Yes.
you this. In 2015,
Mm-hmm.
Sowore and Sahara reporters were not writing anything negative about Muhammadu Buhari. And I did in fact. You can Google it. You can go to the archives of Sahara reporters. They were
Mm-hmm.
not writing anything bad about Muhammadu Buhari.
Mm-hmm.
What happened is that 6 months after Buhari became president, Buhari released his ministerial list. When Sowore saw that his name was not there, that was when he began to attack Muhammadu Buhari.
Is that not conjecture?
Prior to that,
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't attacking Muhammadu Buhari. They were praising him. They were saying like, "Oh, Daniel has come to judgment." They were using words like body language. That even his body language alone is fighting corruption. That even his body language alone is giving electricity to Nigerians. The romance ended when Muhammadu Buhari sent his ministerial list to the National Assembly. And Soroboy said, what? Oh my God, my name is not there. Boom! He started attacking Muhammadu Buhari. I'm not like that. I'm not like that. I'm a number one best-selling author. If I need money, I write books. I don't depend on people. I don't depend on politics to make money. So I'm very different from Omoyele Sowore. So please do not ever put my name and Sowore in the same sentence. I reject that. God forbid.
Whoa.
Not that criminal, that blackmailer. No. I reject that. Now, can we
Who
move on?
Yes, yes.
Can I
Let's
get you,
move.
please?
Okay, now from the polling, because I often poll and get people to send in questions. One of the things that really stood out was, apart from his acid tongue, a lot of people have accused Shawari of being of blackmailing people and extorting money from people. But the fact of the matter is, none of the people that have claimed to be blackmailed have been able to come forward and say, this is what he tried to blackmail me with. This is the amount of money he collected from me. Nobody has done that.
Oh,
But then they're
I
very
have done it.
comfortable to say
I have
that
done
he
it.
has blackmailed and extorted money from people. Please tell us
I have
your
done it.
story. Tell us your story, your blackmail
Okay,
story.
now the reason why Satan was attacking Christ is not because Satan hates Christ. The reason why Satan was attacking Christ is because Christ is God's spokesman, and Satan hates Christ. So Satan was attacking Christ. Now, I come from a wealthy home. I was brought up in a wealthy home. I have never ever been poor. I became a resident of the US at the age of 9. I schooled in England. Now, I was brought from the United States to become spokesman to President Jonathan. And then Omoyole started writing horrible things about me. Horrible things about me. In 2014, Omoyole Sowore wrote a story about me that I was an armed robber, that I went to a house in Warri with guns blazing, and I robbed the house and I robbed 25 million. Please don't take my word for it. Google it. I wrote to Omoyele Sowore. I said, Omoyele Sowore, I have children. I have a family in America. This thing you're doing is a lie. Please stop it. I provided him with proof. I said, I have not been to Warri since for years. I've not even visited Warri. So how can you say these things about me? Omoyele Sowore completely ignored me. I had to fly to America. I had to hire a lawyer. And all these things I'm saying, you can check it, you can put it on Google. My lawyer sued Omoyele Sowore, and Omoyele Sowore still would not take down the story. Eventually, my lawyer discovered that Omoyele Sowore was being sponsored by the Ford Foundation. So my lawyer wrote a letter to the Ford Foundation telling them all that Omoyele Sowore had done. And it was only then that Omoyele Sowore took that story. Now, I'm a person of high credibility. High credibility. Look, this is a picture of me and the current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Boris Johnson. This is another picture of me and the immediate past Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, Theresa May. This is, I got the Humanitarian of the Year award at the Hollywood Film Festival November last year, November 2019. You can check it out. I have credibility. I imagine what that money that I spent on hiring that lawyer. I built an orphanage in Nigeria. I had children in the orphanage. People from Borno who did Boko Haram orphans. They are in the orphanage I built. I could have used that money to feed those orphans, to train them, to educate them, to clothe them. Someone forced me to pay a lawyer to go and to spend that money on the lawyer trying to claim my good name. And then there's one thing you have to understand. You can write a lie about somebody unknowingly. And then when they provide you proof, then you take it down. But when you write a deliberate lie, you want to destroy somebody, you write a deliberate lie because you want to make sure that I'm not able to defend President Jonathan. That's the kind of person that Sowore is. Now, the people that he brought to power, they've caught him because they know what he can do. They know he's a big liar, they know he's a blackmailer, and they've thrown him in jail. He can't leave Abuja. When he was under former President Jonathan, he wrote lies upon lies upon lies upon lies. He was allowed to visit Nigeria. He was never arrested. But these people, because you know the thing about Satan and his kingdom, Satan's kingdom is not a kingdom of love. It's a kingdom of cruelty. So he's in Satan's kingdom. His fellow Satan, Muhammadu Buhari, the demon of Nigeria, has caught him and said, look, I know what you are going to do, and I put him in jail. That's what I have to say.
Oh my God. Okay, so in your books, he is a criminal who tried to blackmail you and would
Not in my books. I provided facts and evidence.
Yes.
Please
Okay.
don't say in my books. I provided
Okay.
evidence. I am
Yes.
an evidence-based person.
This person, which is very necessary. Okay. And okay, so on that line, okay, because you have provided evidence, I will not like flog it. Okay. We cannot argue against evidence. Okay. Hopefully Shawari will come someday and defend himself on that level. But let me
Defend himself against video evidence.
no, maybe he has his own side of the story. Who knows? But okay, Reno, stop
Okay,
laughing, stop
okay,
laughing, stop laughing. Let's move on. Okay,
okay.
so you must give it to Showore that since he was a young person, he has been fighting for the cause of Nigeria. He has been
No, no,
fighting.
that please let me respond to that. That is not true. Sowore has not been fighting for the cause of Nigeria. Sowore has been fighting for his pocket. People that fight for the cause of Nigeria don't lie. People that fight for the cause of Nigeria don't blackmail. Okay, look, I built an orphanage for orphans from Bornu. Am I from Bornu?
No.
Did I go and advertise that I built an orphanage? I kept it low. I did not say anything. I mean, the only reason why it came out is when these false allegations came. People who are fighting for Nigeria, you know them. They are not. They don't just go there and set up a news outlet and start lying against people. Look, let me ask you a question. Former President Jonathan had a wedding for his daughter. His own daughter invited people. You went and you lied that the man was giving out gold-plated iPhones. Okay, we contacted iPhone. We contacted Apple. We got a letter from Apple that it was a lie. We sent it to him. He refused to publish the truth. Now, you and other Nigerians read it and believed it. Is that the kind of person that is fighting for Nigeria or fighting for his own pocket? You can imagine how heartbroken former President Jonathan felt. You can imagine how heartbroken the young girl felt. What if you have some very extremely beautiful daughters? I'm telling you. What if I write something like that about your daughters on their wedding? How are you going to feel, Regina?
I would be very upset. Okay. All right. Let's move on. You can I get what you're saying in your analogy to Satan and his cruelty and people who mean well for others do not go telling lies about others. But since he was 21, I was in University of Lagos. I saw that boy and all his activism. I saw him mobilize the people. What is Showore doing that the people love him so much and are so accept?
Please let me respond to that.
No,
Please.
wait. They love him so much. He has become a lightning rod
Let
among
me respond to that.
and they embrace him totally. What can you
Please,
or the
let me
government
respond to that.
to be able
If
to align so
Let
well?
me respond now.
Because
Regina, you
we
ask
need that.
questions, allow
We
me to
need that.
respond.
Yes.
If as you say, Nigerians love Sowore very much, an election was held last year, February 27. We saw the results of that election.
Yes.
If Fela Durotoye, Kingsley Moghalu, they all scored higher than Omoyele Sowore. Omoyele Sowore, who you claim the people of Nigerians love so much, came last. In fact, the amount of votes that he had cannot make him a councillor. So, Regina, I'm asking you, I deal in facts, I don't deal in fiction. How much do you want me to tell you how many votes that he had? I'm
Tell
embarrassed
us.
for him. So you are saying that, oh, they love you so much. Okay, I'll give you an example now. Me, Reno Omokri, I wrote a book. Do you know
Yeah.
how many copies of that book I sold? The
Yeah.
book became a #1 bestseller. I made hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is literal proof. If you are saying that Osowore is so loved by the people, then how come the people did not vote for him? How
Okay,
come they
Reno.
voted for Fela Durotoye? Let me finish, please. I allow you to talk.
Okay.
How come they voted for Fela Durotoye? How come
Uh-huh.
they voted for Kingsley Moghalu? How come they
Yes.
voted for LBS Ekwesili? How come they did not vote for him? How come he came last? Huh? I remember that when I was a child, we had this housemaid. And then anytime there was a race, and then the person that came last, she would say, "Ooh, you carried pole. How come Omoyele Sowore carried pole? How come?" So look, so it is either you are wrong and the election is right, or the election is wrong and you are right. Regina, which is it?
Let me say something, Reno. Okay.
Regina, you did not answer now.
No. I cannot answer. I cannot answer Omoyele's questions. I am not so worried. Let
Okay,
me
good,
ask you
good.
something. If he was allowed to debate, remember there was a national debate where he was muscled out of the picture. If he was allowed to debate, if he was allowed to campaign on an even kill, if he was allowed to present himself fully and thoroughly, with no arrest, and do you think that he would not have made a bigger impact than he made? Now,
Can I respond, please?
wait, don't let me say something else. Then you respond. If Tawari was such a non gratis as we're trying to present, he would not be so arrested, rearrested, locked up, caged. He would not. So my question is, why are we so afraid of this boy? A
Can
boy
I respond?
with
Can
drugs
I
and a
respond?
laptop will bring down the government. Talk to
Can
me.
I respond?
Talk to me. Yes.
Okay. Now, Sowore was not arrested during the election. He was
Okay.
not arrested before the election. Sowore was arrested after the election when he lost the election and then he tried to pull off a revolution. So please get your
Okay.
facts right. He was
Okay.
not arrested before the election. He was not arrested during the election. What happened is that he came last, according to that our house girl. He carried Poe. And then because he carried Poe,
Okay.
he now came and said that, okay, he's going to do a revolution. If it had been under a military government, he would have been arrested and shot. Now, that is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
During the debate, the person that did not turn up was Muhammadu Buhari. Atiku turned up. Obie Sekwesili turned up. Fela Durotoye turned up. Kingsley Moghalu turned up. So what is your point?
My guy. Yes.
They all turned up, and
Yes.
then all these people, they all did phenomenally much better than Sowore. So again, I'm asking you,
Was he allowed
Regina.
to debate? He said that he was stopped
No, no,
from
no.
debating.
Regina, it is
Yes.
people. It is people who do not deal in facts that Sowore is a liar, and it is people who do not deal in fact that Sowore can deceive. Sowore was arrested after the election. He was not arrested during the election, before the election. He was not stopped from debating anything. Muhammadu Buhari did not turn up. That day, Atiku was there. Obie Secretary was there. Kingsley Moghalu was there. Fela Durotoye was there. Buhari did not turn up. So that
Mm-hmm.
is the fact of the situation. Now, if you want, maybe if you doubt me, I can open it up for you and I can show you. You see, one gift that I have is this. I am a meticulous record keeper.
Yes.
I am a meticulous record keeper. If I'm going to open this big mouth of mine, I must use this big brain of mine. If I don't use
Okay.
this big brain of mine, I don't open this big mouth of mine. So I've given you the facts there. It is people who are not very, who are shallow, that someone like Omoyele Sowore can come and deceive.
Oh, so you're saying that he's deceiving me because I'm shallow? Come on now.
No, 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 no. I did not say that. I didn't say he's
Uh-huh.
deceiving you. No, 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 please. Regina, look,
Yeah.
can I say something, Regina? Can I say
Yes.
something? Regina Askia, you're not shallow
Not
and
at
you're
all.
beautiful.
Thank
You're very
you.
beautiful. Now, I can tell you how I know you're not shallow. I remember the movie that you did with RMD. I remember how you did your lines. Remember the movie where you put RMD in the bottle? Remember? You put him in the bottle, right? Can you remember that movie? And then
Yes.
at the end of the day, he went to a church and they told him, and he came to the house. The director of that movie said that he was so surprised at how you were able to remember your lines. RMD couldn't remember his lines, but you remembered your lines. You are a deeply intelligent person. You are
Thank
not
you.
shallow.
Flattery will get you everywhere. So keep it coming. Okay. All right. So my problem now is why we're having this discussion and this argument is because we want the best for Nigeria. We want the best for Nigeria. And if we have to be honest with ourselves, the Jonathan dispensation did not do well. The
No,
Buhari
that
dispensation did not
I
do
need to
well.
respond to that.
Yes,
Please
go
let me
ahead.
respond to that.
Yes.
Now, I
Let's
deal
be
in
honest.
facts.
Let's be honest.
No, please,
Yes.
please let me respond now.
Okay.
And it's going to help your interviewer when you ask
Yes.
questions. Allow people to learn. It's going to
Amen.
because
Yes.
it's going to help you.
Yes.
Listen. Now, I deal in facts. I don't deal in fiction.
Yes.
According to the World Economic Forum,
Yes.
Nigeria was the third fastest growing economy in the world under Jonathan. Now, you can check it out. According to the World Economic Forum. Now,
Yeah.
who are you going to believe between the World Economic Forum and Sahara reporters? Now, according to CNN Money,
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria was the third fastest growing economy in the world under Jonathan. Now,
Mm-hmm.
who are you going to believe between CNN Money and Sahara reporters and Omoyele Sowore? According
Mm-hmm.
to the British government, and you can Google this, Nigeria was the fourth fastest growing economy in the world. Now, who are you going to believe between the British government and Omoyele Sowore? Under Jonathan, according to the International Food Policy Research Institute, Nigeria was the only country in Africa that was able to roll back hunger. As I speak to you right now, Nigeria is the world headquarters for extreme poverty. Under Jonathan built 165 Almajiri schools. Why? Because Nigeria has 12.5 million. Okay, no, sorry, Nigeria had 12.5 million children out of school in northern Nigeria. Jonathan built 165 Almajiri schools for them. How many schools has Muhammadu Buhari in northern Nigeria built? Under Jonathan, the dollar was 150 naira to $1. Under Jonathan, petrol was 87 naira per liter. So look at it now. Under Jonathan, according to Gallup polls, and you are in America, you know Gallup polls is a reputable, objective, private polling company. According to Gallup polls, they did a poll, and you can Google it. Your listeners can Google it. They did a poll. Nigeria under Jonathan was the happiest country in the world. Happiest country in the world. Today, we are not even among the top 100 happiest countries.
Okay, does it mean that
Go ahead.
things definitely got worse? It does
Sorry?
not mean that things got worse. Things got worse from the time of Jonathan to the time of Buhari. Things definitely got worse.
No, that is not true. That is not true. Under Jonathan, things got better, and I've given you the facts. Except you are saying that the World Economic Forum.
I'm not saying that. Okay.
No. Let me land. Except you are saying the World Economic Forum, the United Nations, CNN Money, the Global Terrorism Index, Transparency International, and International Food Policy Research Institute. Except they are saying that they are lying. So are you saying that they are lying?
Okay, so there was a time that Sowore was the golden boy to Jonathan, okay?
No, there was never a time like that.
Who said two things about Sowore because, Sowore was campaigning for Jonathan to get into office.
That is not true.
He was going to be stepped over after
that is not true.
Okay,
that is not
speak
true.
on it.
Jonathan never said that. And let me tell you what was happening.
Oh my God. Ooh, hold on, people. Hold on, people. Hold on, people. Oh my goodness. Hold on, people. I am so sorry. This has never happened before. What are you doing in my studio? What are you coughing?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
Now, so let me continue. I was speaking. Let me continue. Now, you need to understand what happened. Omoyele Sowore is like Satan. He knows how to manipulate and lie. He keeps on saying that he was instrumental in fighting the cabal under Yaradua. Let me set the record straight now. What happened is that under Yaradua, Nasir El-Rufai was on exile. Nasir El-Rufai had a bitter feud with President Yaradua because President Yaradua exiled him because both of them were competing to be president under Obasanjo, and Obasanjo chose Yaradua over Nasir El-Rufai. So Nasir El-Rufai wanted to come back to Nigeria, desperately wanted to come back to Nigeria. But there was no way he could come back. So what happened was that during that time when Yaradua was in a coma, he saw an opportunity and he began feeding Omoyele Sowore information, not because he loved Jonathan, but to fight the cabal that was against him. That was what was happening. That was what happened. Now, you said something. Please, let me learn. Yes. You said something that Sowore was one time Jonathan's golden boy and Jonathan praised him. If you can find me a video.
There's a video on my timeline.
Sorry?
There's a video on my timeline.
Please show me the video. I'll be patient. Show me the video. I will not talk.
It's on Facebook timeline, and I cannot get out of the studio to, continue.
Can you get a phone? Ask somebody to give you a phone, and then you play the video.
Okay. He was praising Sowore's work, okay? But it looks like he was a golden boy then when he was trying
No.
Play the video. Let me talk, Reno. It's my show. Okay.
I know, but play the video.
Okay. And then when Shawari brought him in and started exposing the ills of his government, he became public enemy number one. The
That
same
is
thing
not
happened.
true.
The same thing happened when Buhari came into office. Okay, Buhari was loved. Shawari was loved by the Buhari people, and when Shawari started exposing their crimes, he became public enemy number one, and he's still exposing the crimes of this government. And I'm wondering why you all cannot work together to keep exposing corruption and raise Nigeria up. You
Can
know,
I respond to that?
tete-a-tete, or instead of
Can I respond to that?
and everything. Yes, please
Can,
respond. See this video right here.
yeah,
See
play
this.
the video. Play the
This is
video. Play it.
this is
Play the
Jonathan
video. Play the
right
video.
here praising Shawore,
No,
talking
play the video.
about
No, don't
how
talk, Regina. Just play the video.
At 11 a.m. I didn't. In fact, even Sahara reporter announced it before I even knew about it. It was quite worrisome because even though he has been sick, but he didn't.
Yeah, yeah. Did
he's
you listen
praising
to
the
what he
work of
did?
Sahara reporters.
No,
Okay,
please, no,
so
Regina,
at
can I
one
respond?
point, the work of Sahara reporters was relevant and it was good
No,
until
Regina,
about all the corruption going
Regina,
on.
can I respond?
Yes, please respond. Educate us. What is going on? Oh my God. Hold on for me. Yes, I'm back on. All right. Hold on. I have to put you on screen to respond. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Please respond.
Yeah, but what you said, Regina, and I'm quoting you, is that Jonathan praised Omoyele Sowore and that
Mm-hmm.
he said Omoyele Sowore was his golden boy. That's not what happened. That's not what, because I know that video. That's not what you showed.
Mm-hmm.
So at no point at all did President Jonathan praise Omoyele Sowore. At no time at all was Omoyele Sowore President Jonathan's golden haired boy. It never happened. So let's establish that fact. And your video does not show that.
Jonathan reps more. Tinubu does, Jonathan does. But Jonathan had a federal horse. But this is why I will show you stand it. When Jonathan was denied the mandate to become president, when the Yarra people were doing it, he fell upon me and others working as our reporters to fight every day to let Jonathan become president. You can verify that. And when it was over, he sent Douglas to me that whatever I wanted, I should ask him that he should ask me to pack my things and come to Nigeria. I told him I said I don't have the tolerance or temperament to work in government because I'll sit my mind like you drive me out next day.
The boy is doing what he knows.
Please, Regina, let me respond. Regina, please, that
He
is not
made
what you
some
said.
names of somebody
No,
that Jonathan sent to him.
Regina,
They
let me
even offered him
respond.
money. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What you said, Regina, is that Jonathan praised Omoyele Sowore and that Omoyele Sowore was Jonathan's golden haired boy, and you had a video. I
I
asked you to play
I
the
have
video.
only
No, let me finish now. Come
yeah.
on, please. I asked you to play the video, and you played the video of Omoyele Sowore himself talking.
Mm-hmm.
Omoyele Sowore.
Oh God. I think you keep pressing something because okay.
Yeah, Regina, I'm not pressing anything. It's from your end. I'm not touching anything.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, so let me repeat. So President Jonathan never praised Omoyele Sowore. What the video you just played was a video of Omoyele Sowore claiming that President Jonathan praised him, and I've addressed that. That is a lie. And that's what Omoyele Sowore does. Omoyele Sowore lies. Like I told you, Omoyele Sowore was not fighting for Jonathan to become president. No, I told you, one of his sponsors is Nasir El Rufai. As at that time, Nasir El Rufai was in America. He was on exile. Nasir El-Rufai was an American, was an exile, and Nasir El-Rufai was having a fight with the cabal. So he used Omoyele Sowore to fight the cabal. As a matter of fact, if you buy Olusegun Adeniyi's book, if you buy his book on the Yar'Adua years, page 242, he actually exposes in that book that Nasir El-Rufai confided in him in that book that he used Sahara reporters. Sorry, he didn't mention Sahara reporters, but that he lied about the cabal. And then, although he did not mention Sahara reporters, it was Sahara reporters that he used to tell those lies. So you have to realize, Regina, I am somebody, I am a meticulous record
I know who you are, and I
if
appreciate
you are
it.
going to say anything, if
Yes.
it's not the fact, don't say it.
Okay,
Because
no, say
I'm
it so
telling
that
you,
you can debunk it or help us understand
yeah.
it. Okay, so I will say it. So don't tell me not to say stuff. I will say it and I'll show, and you will debunk it.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
But let's go on, because we should not miss the
But
big
Regina,
picture.
Regina, can we talk about Nigeria?
Huh?
Can we talk about Nigeria and other? Can we talk about
Exactly.
Nigeria?
We must not miss the big picture. The big picture, and why we like Showore is because he is shedding.
No, why
exposing
you
corruption.
like Showore? You were at Unilag with him.
Me and so many Nigerians. Press that button and come back. Me and so many Nigerians. The reason we like him is because he is bringing out, talking about corruption. Are you back? He's talking about corruption. This is what we need in Nigeria today. We need to expose what is going on. We need to work towards fixing it so that we all can have a country that works for all of us. Okay? We need to work towards exposing corruption. We need to work towards routing it so that we all can have a country that works for us. We all can help raise Nigeria and be proud citizens of Nigeria. This is why we have to expose corruption. This is why we appreciate Showore's work. This is why we appreciate your work. And we hope that you all will come together and work on these things, tie these loose ends so that we can do better for Nigeria. Okay, so let's talk about Nigeria. Talk to me. Tell me why you are not running after Amechi, why you are not running after what's his name, the former Emma Sanusi Lamido. Why are you not chasing them? Because they were very instrumental when it came to ousting Jonathan. They asked serious questions that they were going to not answer. They asked about the reserves that was left in the coffers before Jonathan's government came in. They asked about a lot of funds that were missing from the coffers, and they worked really hard towards removing or terminating that government, and they were successful. Why we're chasing a small boy with his laptop and his blog, I don't know. Why are you not talking about these big fishes that are in
Can
the
I respond?
Yes, please respond.
You see, but that's the issue.
And work on Nigeria.
But let me respond now. See, that's the issue. That's the issue. Before you do an interview, Regina, you need to research. You need to research.
Everybody comes on here and tells me when I don't say what you want to hear.
No.
That's why
Regina,
I researched it and I wrote it down.
But Regina, can I respond, Regina?
Yes, respond. Answer the question. Don't attack me.
Okay. I'm sorry that you feel I was attacking you. But why I'm saying that you need to research is this, because you now say that why am I not going after Amechi? And why
Let's
am I not going after
them.
Amechi?
Yes.
But no, allow me.
Yes.
Allow me, please.
Yes.
I went after Amechi. Google Amechi tips.
Okay. Jesus. Okay. All right, so he went after Amechi and he went after Sanusi Lamido, and it looks like these people are going to be big players in the coming dispensation. So let's talk about how we are going to prepare ourselves. Let's talk about how we are going to prepare ourselves to play major roles.
Okay, Regina, I don't know why this keeps happening. But anyway, let me continue. I went after Amechi. I exposed Amechi. As a matter of fact, it trended. It was the #1 trend in Nigeria, unbelievably, for 2 weeks. Amechi tips. Google it. I exposed Amechi. Amechi tips. Google it. As I'm speaking to you right now, you can take your phone and Google it. I exposed Sanusi Lamido. I exposed him as a liar. Sanusi said 49.8 billion was missing. Exactly. Then he brought evidence that it was not true. Then he reduced the amount to 22.2 billion. Then we brought evidence that it was not true. Then he reduced the amount to 10.8 billion. I brought all this evidence there. It's in my book. My book is a #1 bestseller. If you want,
Mm.
if you give me your address, I can send my book to you.
Please
I
do.
attacked them. The difference between Amechi and Lamido Sanusi Lamido is that what happened is that when Muhammadu Buhari became president, they got what they wanted. One of them became a minister under Buhari, and Sanusi Lamido Sanusi became Emir about a year before Buhari was elected. And Sanusi Lamido Sanusi had said all that he wanted to achieve in his life was to be Emir of Kano. Today, Sanusi has been dethroned as Emir of Kano. Why? For financial misappropriation and corruption. So you can see that the same thing that we accused him of when he was governor of CBN followed him there, proving that a leopard cannot change its spot. Sanusi Lamido Sanusi is a thief, a common criminal. His own governor said that about him, not me. He was dethroned as Emir of Kano for financial misappropriation. He claims that he spent 135 million naira on phone calls in 3 months.
You're back. Okay. In 3 months, he claimed he spent.
But no, these are facts. That's what I mean. You can Google it. He said he spent $135 million on phone bills in just 3 months. It's there. You can check it. And so he was removed by the Kano governor, dethroned by the Kano governor for misappropriation of funds, and then for insubordination. These are facts.
Okay.
Now, Amechi, I exposed Amechi. You can Google it, Amechi tips. I mean, I exposed him. And when I exposed him, what I said, and you can check it, I said, Amechi, if you deny this, I'll bring out more. And as I speak to you now, this is over 1 year after I exposed him. Amechi has not denied what I said.
Okay. All
So
right.
it is wrong for you to say that I am only following Sowore, but I did not expose Sanusi and
I'm
Amechi. I
glad you
did.
did. Thank you for setting that straight. I'm glad you did. So how can we all now? Can you reduce the volume of your device?
Me?
Yes.
Okay, I'll reduce it.
Yes. Thank you because it's resonant. Now, how can we all work together? How can Reno please comment on Wendell Simmons saga? What is that again? How can we all work together to raise Nigeria up? Do you want to
But
comment on that?
yeah, I mean, one thing you have to understand. I believe in scripture. Scripture, Second Timothy chapter 3, verse 16. It says, all scripture is given by inspiration of God and is useful for doctrine, for reproof, for instruction in righteousness, that the man of God is complete, lacking nothing. Now, like-minded people, good people, people who are truthful should come together, and we need to form a critical mass. And when we
Yes.
have a critical mass, because what you have to understand is that in other countries, political parties are based on ideology. For
Yes.
instance, in the United Kingdom, political parties.
Oh my God. Okay, political parties. He was saying that in the United Kingdom, in advanced nations, political parties are based on ideology. People come together and form a critical mass. I hope he's going to talk about how people in the diaspora can come together and form, a relevant body that can impact positively on elections in Nigeria and also talk about electoral reform. Please
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
as I was saying, I
Yeah.
don't know why, there's something happening from your end.
I,
So in Nigeria, we have to move away from these tribal-based parties. For
yes.
instance, Muhammadu Buhari has a tribal-based party. I'll give you an example. This is the first time in the history of Nigeria where there are three arms of government: the executive, the judiciary, and the legislature. This is the first time in Nigeria's 60-year history that all three arms are being headed by northern Muslims. Muhammadu Buhari is the head of the executive. He's a northern Muslim. Tanko, Justice Tanko Muhammad is the head of the judiciary. He's a northern Muslim. Ahmed Lawan is the head of the legislature. He's a northern Muslim. And then we see this also with the armed forces. Every department of the armed force, except the Navy in Nigeria, is headed by northern Muslims. So you have the Minister of Defense, the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, the Director of Military Intelligence, the Director of the National Intelligence Agency, the Director of the Department of State Security, the Director of the Controller General of the NIS, the NCS, the NPS, and the EFCC are all northern Muslims. So there is such an imbalance in Nigeria. Now, Regina, you're from the Riverine area, so you're used to boats. Now,
Akwa
if
Ibom.
you have a boat and then you have too many people on one side and you don't have enough people on the other side, what's going to happen to that boat?
It's gonna topple.
Exactly. And the reason why Nigeria is collapsing right now is because of the tribal and ethnic imbalance in Nigeria. Because
What can you do?
the government is so lopsided in favor of the northern Muslims to a very ridiculous extent, and so that it is toppling Nigeria. We need balance. Under former President Jonathan, there was balance. Under President Yaradua, oh, may God bless his soul, a president from
I'm just gonna wait because when he does that, he's able to come in back by himself, and we're just gonna wait. Okay. He was saying that we need balance in the government structure. The current government, as it is too lopsided. Okay, and when it's lopsided, it's going to topple. Okay, so we're just going to wait for him to come back. All right.
Okay, so we need a situation that there's balance. And the only way we can do that is to move away from parties that are built around tribe. So I'll give you a very good example. Now, you have the APC. The APC was a conglomerate of two tribal parties. The CPC, formed by Muhammadu Buhari, which was a tribal party of northern Muslims. And then the ACN, which was a tribal party of Yorubas in the southwest. Now, you need a truly national party that is based on ideology, not based on tribe. That is based on is completely on ideology. That is the only way. And one of the things that I've said, and I wrote about this in my book, is that we have to get rid of state of origin. So, for instance, you, Regina Askia, if you go to Kanu and you live in Kanu and you pay your tax in Kanu and you don't commit any crimes in Kanu, then you should be able to contest for elections to be a local government chairman or governor in Kanu. And that was how Nigeria was under the British before we had independence. The first mayor of Enugu is a man called Umaru Altine. He was a Fulani Muslim from Kanu State. But he moved to Enugu, and in 1957, he contested to be mayor. Mayor is like local government chairman of Enugu, and Igbo people voted for him. Not just that, Nnamdi Azikiwe went to Ibadan, and he contested to be an MP, and Yoruba people voted for him. But after the British left, when we had independence, then we became tribal. Our parties now started to be built around tribes. And we need to understand this. Right now, a lot of black people are talking about Black Lives Matter. But black people ourselves, we don't like each other. I go to Nigeria, people say, that's Yoruba man, because my mom is partly Yoruba. They say, okay, that is Shekiri man, because I'm a Shekiri. And this man does not want to deal with me. You see, Igbo people, they don't like the Northerners, or they don't like Yoruba. They call Yoruba Ofe Manu. That is people who have too much oil in their soup. Yoruba call Igbos Aja Okutama Momi. You know, Northerners, Hausas call Yorubas Ngbati people. Hausas, Northerners call Igbos Nyamiri. So we need to get rid of all of these things. We need to get rid of all of these things. And it also, because if we do not do that, we're going to keep on using our energies to fight each other. Look at it. You live in America. According to the United States Census Bureau, who are the most educated people in America? Nigerians. Nigerians, not one of the most. I didn't say one of the most educated, bar none. Amy Cham wrote a book, Tiger Mom, How to Raise Your Child Like a Nigerian. Nigerians are used as examples on how to raise children who are hungry for success. This man, the British Prime Minister, he wrote, Boris Johnson, this man, he wrote a column. He said that Nigerians are hungry for success. How is it
Yes,
that
good.
when we leave our country and we go to America and Europe,
We do
we are so
well.
successful? But
Mm-hmm.
in our own country, we are not able to be successful. It's because of this tribal based politics, identity politics. And we have to move away from it. I'll give you a very good example. And this
That's
is the one
exactly what
example.
Shimori said.
Sorry?
That's exactly what Shimori said.
No, no, I watched Summer Rice interview. That's not exactly what he said. Now,
Yes,
so
go
I'll
ahead.
give you a very good example now.
Yes,
Look, in Lagos State, for instance, we
yes.
can't have Bola Tinubu as a godfather determine who is going to become president, governor, and who is not going to become governor. That
Mm-hmm.
is wrong. That is not democracy. Bola Tinubu needs to be put in his own place.
Yes.
So we cannot have that. We cannot have in Edo State Adams or Shiomole wanting to determine who is going to be a governor. We cannot have that. So that kind of big man politics has to go, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been fighting for. That's what I've been fighting for. I am a Shakiri. I am from Delta State. When I was
Mm-hmm.
building an orphanage with my money, not money that I stole, nobody has ever accused me of stealing money, not Muhammadu Buhari, of whom I'm his biggest critic. When I was building an orphanage, I did not build an orphanage for Shakiri people. I
Mm-hmm.
built an orphanage for northerners from Borno State whose parents had been killed by Boko Haram.
Okay. I,
So we need that.
yes.
We need leaders who think beyond their tribe
Yes.
and beyond their religion.
Yes. Okay, so we have done a lot of talking today, and this is one good way to move Nigeria forward. So, we wanted to say that we should make a critical mass. How can Nigerians in the diaspora be a relevant tool or a relevant block when it comes to voting in 2023? Because we're Nigerians too.
Let me respond.
We contribute a lot through direct investment with all the
Let me
money
respond.
of our families. Yes, go ahead, please.
The way that can happen, I'll give you an example. Niger
Yes.
Republic is a small country that is our next door neighbor.
Yes.
Niger Republic, their economy is 1/20th of Nigeria's economy.
Yes.
Yet, Niger Republic has diaspora voting. In
Yes.
their last election in Niger Republic, citizens of Niger Republic were able to vote in the Abuja embassy
Mm-hmm.
of the Niger Republic. So Nigeria needs to have diaspora voting.
Yeah.
India has it. Other countries have it.
So we need to
Nigeria needs to
enter.
have diaspora voting.
Yes.
Nigerians in the diaspora
Mm-hmm.
sent $23 billion back home
Yeah.
last year. Now, you know how America was founded? No taxation without representation. The
Exactly.
Boston Tea Party. Now, you can have Nigerians. Do you know that the biggest contributor of foreign exchange to Nigeria is not oil? It's not the World Bank. It's not IMF. It's Nigerians in the diaspora.
Yes.
So we need to give Nigerians in the diaspora that we need to give them diaspora voting. And if
Mm-hmm.
we don't do this, then we are not going to be able to build on that critical mass.
Okay. Now, Atiku and these other people that you supported, I don't want to ask you why you supported them, but I'm kind of happy that they didn't come in. Tell me what you would do to curb corruption in Nigeria. Because if we don't curb corruption, nothing is going to go forward. There's resonance from your volume. Nothing is going to go forward if we don't curb corruption in Nigeria. I think we propose using an online system to curb corruption. If we
Let
can
me
put
respond to
something in
that.
place where nobody's able to steal money, or where people who steal money can be brought to justice,
Let
I
me
think
respond to
that
that.
will be the beginning of our redemption as a nation.
Okay, now, if you look at corruption, you got to fight corruption scientifically.
Yes.
Now, corruption in Nigeria is mostly in the public service. And why is it in the public service? Is because the the centers of wealth in Nigeria are still being controlled by the public service. For instance, NNPC is a
Mm-hmm.
very corrupt body, and NNPC is still controlled by the public service. That is, the people working there are still public servants, civil servants. Nigerian Railway Corporation is still a public corporation, and so there's a lot of corruption there. If you want to fight corruption in Nigeria, you got to do what America did, what Britain did. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Privatize all these bodies. Privatize the NNPC. Sell the NNPC to private bodies the same way British Gas British Petroleum was sold out and privatized by Margaret Thatcher. Privatize the Nigerian railways the same way British Railways was privatized by Mrs. Thatcher, the same way Amtrak was privatized. Now, by the time you privatize all of these bodies, who is going to be corrupt? If you spend your money buying NNPC, if you spend your money buying NEPA, if you spend your money buying cement companies, if you spend your money buying refineries, you are not going to tolerate corruption in there. The reason why there's corruption is because these things are still being held by the government. Let's have a civil service that is purely civil service, that they have nothing to do with controlling government cash cows. So where you have that, so because if you look at where the corruption is coming from, according to Transparency International, the corruption is coming from all these revenue generating agencies. So if they are privatized, then you're not going to have all this corruption. That is on the one hand. Then also, we need to be able to fight corruption with science. Look at what Ibrahim Magu was doing, just going around arresting people. That's not how you fight corruption. Prevention is better than cure. How do you fight corruption? You do what former President Jonathan did. You cannot do any transaction above 5 million outside your account. And then if you do any transaction above 5 million outside your account, that is money laundering and you should be arrested. February 24th last year, we saw bullion vans going into Bola Tinubu's house. The next day, he was interviewed on channels and he admitted that those bullion vans contained money. And according to the law, the anti-money laundering law, once you move to any amount more than 5 million in cash outside the banking system, that is a crime. Magu did not arrest Bola Tinubu. The president did not arrest Bola Tinubu. In fact, Bola Tinubu kept on being invited to the presidential villa and being treated like a king. I think a week ago, some demonstrators were in Abuja at Unity Fountain doing a demonstration saying that Bola Tinubu must be prosecuted for that. So that's what I'm talking about. When you privatize, you're going to get rid of about half of your corruption. And then by the time you now use science, that means you now you implement the Anti-Money Laundering Act and you don't care which political party the person comes in, then you are going to have more corruption. And one thing I'm going to recommend for Nigeria is this. Let's be like America. In America, you have to understand this, is that the states...
I'm sorry. Somebody said, but Nigeria electricity was privatized, but now it's yours.
No, that's not true. That's why I see it's this kind of ignorance that I'm so glad I'm talking. Yes. Nigeria, what was privatized, you need to understand, is the power generation. Power generation. So the power generating companies, they call them Gencos. The Gencos were privatized. The transmission, that is, you see, the NEPA lines was not privatized. It was left with government. And so how can you privatize the Genco? Because it was President Jonathan that privatized the Gencos and he was going to privatize the transmission companies, which are the Transcos. But Buhari came and then stopped it and reversed it. So that is the problem. So you're now having a confusion. Everything should be privatized. The generation companies and the transmission companies should be privatized.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Reno. We had a very robust discussion, and we were able to see that with the facts you proved that you're not a criminal, that Shawari said you are, and we were also able to see that even though you and Shawari seem to be saying the same thing, you are still bent on the fact that Shawari is not a straightforward and honest person. And we are not going to explore that. We'll leave that to you and Shawari. But we want to request of you, please, to continue to route corruption wherever you see it. That you should not gloss over things just because the principal is your friend. That you should stand up and be a guardian of light and truth, because in so doing, you will help elevate Nigeria. The same things you are saying, Shawari said them on my show the other time, about Bola Tinubu, about the diaspora votes and all that. But when you listen to him, you want to say everything he's saying is rude, it's not true. But you're saying the same thing. So we pray for a time that you all will come together, put your resources together and fight corruption to elevate Nigeria. Any last words before we say goodbye to our audience?
Yes, because I like to deal in facts, and
Yes.
it's very, very important to say
Yes.
that I deal in facts. I don't.
No, no, come back and say your last words. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have to wait for Reno to come back and close out. It will be unfair to, take him up now. Take him off now. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I don't gloss over corruption. I
Yeah.
do not. I fight corruption. I fight dishonesty. The difference is that I do it with facts.
Mhm.
If you want to fight corruption and if you're not prepared to do it with truth, then you're not really fighting corruption. You're actually adding to corruption. Because corruption must be fought with truth. It's just like corruption. Corruption is fire.
Mhm.
If you are fighting fire with fire, guess what? There's going to be more fire. You can
Mhm.
only fight fire with water. Thank you very much for having me on your show,
Thank you
Regina.
so very much, for coming on. And I look forward to interactions like this because we get to learn a lot, we get to understand better, and be able to separate propaganda from what is truth and what is fact. Thank you so very much. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye. Okay, so finally we come to the end of that interview. I hope you all were able to learn something and understand something there. Things are not usually as they seem. It's always best to dig deeper. And I am happy that we have been able to hear it from both sides. And it's left to you. It's up to you to make up your mind after further investigation to believe what you feel is truth. But my takeaway from this interaction is that Mr. Reno and Mr. Showore, who are both champions of truth, should marshal their forces together, help throw open, and help fight corruption in Nigeria, because all their efforts marshaled together can only do one thing. It can only help raise Nigeria up. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of this production. And for right now, I'll say good night, God bless, and see you next time in the office of the citizen. Take care of yourselves and of each other. Good night.